All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NIO, NEO Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back. And before we go ahead and go into details here, I want to say thank you to all of you that answered the trivia question. You guys were right about talking where the highest point was, and it was up here at around 43.92 to 95, give or take. And whoever answered it, 43.92 was the closest, and you are correct. And this is why these trivia questions are important, because if it broke through that, we were going to see newer highs, and it was going to pull further away from the 50-day moving average. Obviously, the resistance level that I stated here is important due to the fact that it's going to give us some insight on where this might be heading, and it's the beginning of the catalyst. But yes, this was the correct answer, and as you can see, it was broken through, and here we are now at newer highs and new resistance levels. So the 50-day moving average is catching up to the price. It's super important to keep that in mind, that the bulls need to continue to tear through resistance levels to continue to hold this up. I mean, if we zoom out, this has been very exponential. It was very stable before, and now it's just been a wild run up, and it's holding itself up pretty strong. But today we saw for the first time the bears try to come in and appear. That is super important, because from this point to this point is where we reached, but the bears slightly tried to gain leverage. Something that shows me signs of is that the bears might soon appear. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by it is that the bears, excuse me for that, going back to Nano. If you guys haven't seen that video, I already posted it, check it out. But if the bears are appearing, that means that they're starting to gain some leverage and the bulls are starting to get exhausted. All I could say is that this will catch up at some point, and the bears are going to be able to bring it down. I don't know how down, but they trying really hard to hold this down, but they couldn't, and the bulls reappeared. But if this was to happen soon, I feel like the bears are going to appear and try their best to hold it down and start to bring it down below the 50-day moving average. Now, if they do, I'm not saying that the bears have completely destroyed the chart and all this growth. That would be a lot of volatility in the downside, but I could see the bears actually trying to dominate for a day or two, the charts appearing and trying to hold this down from continuing its run up in this direction. So I want every investor to pay very close attention to how this stock is reacting, if it breaks through support levels or if it even breaks through the 50-day moving average. Now you can see here the 50-day moving average was broken through for a whole hour between these two, but it brought itself back up and the bulls brought it up to newer highs. But again, I want every investor to beware that the bears have appeared for the first time in quite some time, since October 29th, which is literally 10 days in total, and trading is about 6 days or 7 days in total when it comes to weekdays. The bulls actually lost control here for the first time. That just gives me signs that at some point in the near future, the bulls are going to continue to lose some control here, and the bears might appear. Now, all this growth, I'm not saying that it's going to disappear. I just want people to pay close attention to it, because for some investors, that could be a sign that, either this is a discount, I'm going to jump in for more, or that could be a decision for them to get out. So that's why I'm here to emphasize it. I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything. You have to do your due diligence. You have to do your research. I just love sharing these cues with you guys and these behaviors of the chart and what the charts are signaling, so that you guys can be well equipped. But there's just different perspectives on what it might seem like. Like for some investors, this might have been a bad sign. If they've been running this up, they saw it dip, consolidate, and it ended up below the 50-day moving average. That could have been, for some, a discount to get back in with more, or for some, a time to get out. So it's all about perspective. It has nothing to do with, me telling you what decision to do or what you have to do. It's up to you. I'm just here to share this information, and you guys as investors make your own rational decisions. And I hope that my videos continue to be helpful and guidance towards your guys' profits, right? Because I always say it, we're here to maximize profits and minimize losses. And that's the whole point of being better equipped. And we're all here to learn and grow together. So let's go ahead and see what our new resistance levels are based off of the chart and what our new support level is. Super important numbers. This is kind of a slight consolidation here in the last couple hours of the day, and we're going to have to see how this is going to react. But this, to me, from my own experience, is a sign that the bears are trying to appear, and they're going to try to appear stronger. Again, I'm not stating that all of this is going to disappear, all these gains. I'm just telling you guys to pay close attention because the bears are trying to take over here. They're trying to stop the bulls. Now, the bulls are doing a good job at bringing themselves back up, but when you think about it, they kind of broke even based off of the highs that they reach, and these are the newer highs. So there's some important numbers here. So before the run started, we were down here at about 440. I'd write that down. That's an important number for the coming weeks and days, right? Just keep that in mind. The 50-day moving average is 42.38. I'd write that down because that lets us know on what side of the chart we're in, if we're in bearish territory or if we're in bullish territory. Obviously, we're above it. We're in bullish territory right now, but if we were to fall below it, we would be in bearish territory. So currently, the stock price is 44.04. Super important number right now because that's exactly where we're at. And the question is, could the bears appear and continue to bring this down, or will the bulls hold this up and pull further away from the 50-day moving average? How will the bulls be able to pull away from the 50-day moving average? They need to break through the highest point reached. They got rejected there, and that's 45.29. They need to break through that resistance, and I want to emphasize this. They need to break through that resistance. Why? Because if this 50-day moving average continues to catch up and the stock price is just hanging out sideways, at some point it's going to end up down here in bearish territory, and the 50-day moving average is going to end up there, leaning towards the bears have some leverage here to now pull this down to newer lows. So keep that in mind. Excuse me for my terrible drawing, but you guys get the gist of it once you see the direction and where I'm pointing, I hope. But right now, it's a close call, right? But the 50-day moving average will catch up. And the 50-day moving average won't be able to catch up as long as the bulls continue to break resistance levels. So they have to, I want to emphasize that again, break through 45.29, turn that into a support to pull away from it and reach newer highs. It is super important because you could see here that a staircase has been formed, and if they form another one here, they'll get themselves to newer highs. And obviously from this point forward, they brought themselves up. So when you look at it, right, staircase, the next staircase, and they're going to work their way up to the newer highs. So it is important for the bulls to break through that resistance, turn that into a support, and pull further away from the 50-day moving average. And as they're working their way up, right, let's say they made it there, the 50-day moving average moved up with it too. So it's important, like I said, the bulls need to break through it. I'm really emphasizing this because this chart is getting close, and just by seeing the bulls lose slight control here, there could be a turnaround events, not due to the fact that the company is not worth it, or due to the fact that there's not enough bulls and there's more bears, or there's uncertainty or fear. It's not that. It's just the natural behavior of the chart. You could see that there's going to be, at some point soon, if the bears already came in this strong, they're going to try to come in stronger. And I want every investor to be aware of that. Now, on the support level, This support level, I want to emphasize to all investors, if it gets broken through, pay very close attention to how this stock is reacting between support and the 50-day moving average. You have that window to see if the bulls are losing control because you're still in bullish territory, or if the bulls are trying to reappear and bring it back up. Because if the bulls are losing control, the bears are getting closer to their goal, which is breaking through the 50-day moving average and ending up below it. So you want to pay close attention to the behavior. And this support level here is 43.54. 43.54, if it gets broken through, you still have that window, but you're going to want to pay close attention to the behavior because we're still in bullish territory. But how quickly is it moving to newer lows, or are the bulls trying to stop this, reappear, and bring it back up as they've done before? When support levels get broken through, it ends up down here, and then the bulls reappear. And as we saw today, even though it fell below the 50-day moving average, bulls reappeared and brought themselves back up. So you want to pay close attention to how this stock is reacting if it breaks through 43.54. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications to not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. So, trivia question. What is the most important support level below the support level of 43.54? I talked about it real early in the video. It has an importance for a reason, and it's important for the next coming days and weeks. What is that important support level? And why is it important for the bulls to break through resistance, which is 45.29? I look forward to seeing your guys' comments and answers down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.